The Bell Hotel in Epping has been used to accommodate asylum seekers for several years. July 2025 has seen two serious demonstrations by local Essex residents following worrying alleged assaults on young girls. 4 years ago, former Epping Forest Councillor Julian Leppert was one of the first local officials to highlight the potential dangers and yet was criticised by the council for his views.
So a bit of background why we're here to protest against the use of the Bell Hotel here in Epping, here in leafy, lovely Epping, or as was anyway, which for the past few years has been used to house asylum seekers and illegal immigrants with devastating consequences for the local residents. About 4 years ago, this when I was serving on the council, myself and Eddie Butler, we made a YouTube video. It's called the Epping Migrant Hotel Scandal. I think it's still on YouTube if you want to look it up. You know, highlighting the threat for security for local residents and all the various problems associated with housing these people who shouldn't even be in the country, never mind in Epping, in this hotel. The response to the Tory council was that they literally tried to have me arrested. So I had a load of grief from Harlow police station at the time. But in the end, as they told me, they decided it was a vexatious, politically motivated complaint from the Tory council leadership, and they dropped the investigation. I wasn't charged of anything. And it wasn't just me. There was a local group who put out a leaflet about the hotel. One of the most prominent Tory councillors on the council, she was on the Holly Whitbread, she was on the internet threatening to weaponise the police and try to have those people arrested as well. So this is the Tory council. You know, their role in all this has been to act as cheerleaders for the Boris Johnson government during the so-called Boris wave of mass immigration, part of which was to house all these illegals and asylum seekers in the hotel. And the Tory councillors at the time and since have been their role has been to be act as cheerleaders for it. But of course now it's all kicked off because of what happened last week, which I'll get to in a minute. A lot of them are trying to wrap themselves in the Union Jack flag and jump on the bandwagon and pretend that they've always been consistently opposed, as they say, to the people that have been housed in this hotel. They are blatantly lying to local people. If anyone read the piece in yesterday's Daily Mail, in which I got a brief mention myself as well, there's a quote from the aforementioned Councillor Whitbread, basically, as I say, you know, offering 100% full support for the use of the hotel to house asylum seekers. And now they're trying to do a U-turn because they're worried about their seats. You know, there's elections next year. A lot of these Tory councillors, they're facing a threat from the Reform Party, who I wouldn't recommend, frankly, but and also hopefully some strong independents will be challenging these people, and their seats are under threat. So now they're trying to play the populist, pretend that they've always been against the hotel, and it's all lies. So I hope that Epping Forest residents, you know, aren't going to be fooled by these lies.
They claim they've been pushing to get this Bell Hotel shut down. For years they've all supported it. Where are we now? Where's the solidarity? For years we've suffered because this Bell Hotel. And I'll tell you what, they won't come and join us. Only a small number of councillors are here today.
Getting back to why we're here today, the catalyst for this demonstration. Just last week, a local 14-year-old schoolgirl, literally a few yards from where we're standing, just down there, she was accosted and viciously sexually assaulted by an asylum seeker stroke illegal immigrant from Ethiopia, I think he was. He'd been in the country a couple of weeks, straight off the boat. He'd been in the country a couple of weeks, and his first task was of course to set about prowling the streets of Epping in search of pretty local schoolgirls to sexually assault, and that's what he did, and that's what's kicked off this demonstration. And this girl's and her family have been through a devastating experience. You know, she has every right to walk around the streets of her own town. You know, this British girl, this town that was, you know, built by her own ancestors, to go about her business without being sexually assaulted or accosted in any way from people that shouldn't be in this country in the first place. And not just her, all the other local girls in Epping, and the boys, and the women, and the men. All the British people in Epping, they have the right to live in peace and safety in their own British town, you know, as did their parents and their grandparents. That's the aim. That's the aim in the long term. And in the short term, the aim is we're going to keep on the pressure as much as we can until they shut this place down and we get our town back. And in the long term, we'll get our town back and we'll get our country back as well. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
The situation is growing more serious now as local Essex residents' anger increases. More demonstrations are planned until decisions about the future of the hotel are finalised.